If you get an open box refrigerator and they tell you that there's no home delivery, there's a reason why. I'm going to share my open box story and some things that I learned so you won't hurt your back. Let's rewind and go back to the beginning. See, it all started when I was looking for a good deal on a refrigerator. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know everything it takes to get one. When it came to delivery and installation, I knew I had to ask specific questions. One thing I had to learn is that delivery and installation is not always included on open box items. It turned out that this refrigerator did not qualify for delivery. Since I was in between pickup trucks, meaning that I had one and then I didn't, I had to find a U-Haul truck that was big enough for this refrigerator. You guys are gonna like this. My wife and I found a U-Haul location in a laundromat. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen one of those, but it's kind of weird walking into a laundromat to get a U-Haul truck. I think some deals were being made in the back of the laundromat, but I won't talk much about that. All I can say is that they had the truck that I needed. When it comes to open box appliances, sometimes you have to do unconventional things to get that thing home. Some people don't like the hassle, while others like the adventure. Once you get your truck, ask the store if they have a lift for appliances. This will make your life a lot easier on the front end. The back end is where all your friendships come into play. Either way, you got your appliance and you're headed home. This is where teamwork on the back end came into play. I was so happy and grateful that my neighbor was there to help me get this refrigerator off the truck and into the garage. This is one of the reasons why my wife and I chose to do a makeover in his laundry room. I'll leave a link to that video down in the description below. With all that's going on, I have to give it up to my little helpers who are growing up. My son is getting very strong because that ramp is heavy. Both of my kids helped us out a lot, and I want them to know how much I really appreciated their help. You made me a proud dad. There's some things about installing an open box refrigerator that you should know. Before I left the store, I made sure I had the manual and documentation for this refrigerator. Most of the time, those items are taped to the back of the unit. If they weren't located on the back of the unit, I would have asked if the installation instructions were provided. I found out that I should always ask about the availability of parts and service. I need to know if replacement parts are readily available if I need them, and so should you. I really needed to know if service and repair support is accessible for this model. I now know the first thing I should look for when I find the refrigerator that I want. Can you guess what that is? The repairman's phone number for that unit and the ability to get new parts. Removing the doors on this refrigerator really wasn't that bad, but I also know why this unit didn't qualify for home delivery. You'll see why in a moment. I didn't realize the feet that stood out from the refrigerator at the bottom. I gotta tell you that it might be a little bit of a challenge to get these brand new refrigerators in your house, because you have to not only take off the refrigerator doors, you also have to take off some of the doors to your house. Maybe your front entrance door or the side door where your laundry room is. So just be aware that you might have to take off a whole bunch of doors when you're trying to put this refrigerator in your home. We've got two doors that we have to take out to get this refrigerator in here. So we've got this entrance door from the garage, and we've also got this other side door that leads to the house. And I'm gonna take them both out. Since we're DIYing over here, I'm gonna use this trusty hammer and screwdriver to take off these hinges. I know that there are a lot of tools that you can use for this type of job, but I went with the basic ones that will get it done. I just used a hammer and a Phillips head screwdriver, and you can too. It's not always about being perfect, but it is about being better than before. See, the doors came off just fine. All right, so I'm gonna move these doors out of the way. They're sideways. Take them out. Here we go. Door number one. And then door number two. Take this out. I'm moving this refrigerator by myself. It's not because my wife didn't want to help me. I'm just doing it because I just want to see what happens. Makes for good video. So we're gonna pull this refrigerator into the house all the way in. There we go. All right. There we go, guys. pulling that refrigerator in. Here we go. You have to check this out. Look at that. All right, look at that refrigerator. It's pretty big. Got it on that dolly. I pulled it through door number 1. So now I'm gonna pull it through door number 2, and then we're gonna put it right over here. So here we go. Okay, so there's one thing I gotta tell you. I really should have put some air in those tires before I started doing this. The refrigerator was so heavy that it was leaning to one side. It's actually a good thing that it was in the threshold of the door. I just didn't account for the really tight space. Since one of the dolly wheels didn't have all of its air, I made sure not to hurt my back while pulling it in. I'm pulling the door in, the refrigerator in with one hand. As you can see, I got my one hand right here, and I'm holding the camera with the other hand while I'm pulling in a refrigerator. It's kind of cool, actually. I like this. This is when I was sure of why this refrigerator didn't qualify for home delivery. If you get an open box refrigerator and they tell you that there's no home delivery, there's a reason why. Even though the refrigerator feet are being a little difficult, I can see that they're about to come through. Yeah, you thought I was tired. I was just putting it down just a little bit to get it through there. Now I have to just pull the wheel from around the corner. We got it, guys. There we go. You see that? We got the refrigerator in the house. The refrigerator's here. And look where it's gonna go. Right over there. It's gonna go right there. So we pulled in a refrigerator through 2 doors. So as far as I'm concerned, the hard part's already done. We have the refrigerator inside the house, and now we just have to put the doors back on. So let's do that. It's on. We just have to tighten it up now. I like that. Let's do it. This is our nut driver that we're using. We're gonna tighten that. It's this one right here. I'm gonna tighten that so it doesn't slip out. So now we get to close the drawer. So now we're gonna put this door on by opening up the part that comes out right here, this part. Now watch your fingers right here. And so what you do is kind of just lean it on here. You stand up and do this part right here so I can see. I got it right there. There we go. So these are some of the things that you'll have to think about when you want to buy a new refrigerator. You like those nice, cool looking refrigerators to have all these gadgets and stuff like that. You have to think about, how am I going to get this thing in my house? And so that's one of the things that I hope that this video helps you with. I'm going to start with the right side door right here. So we're going to place it on top of this right here. Let's put it on top so it swivels. Let's see where it is. So it has a hole. See this hole right here? We're going to place this hole on top of this part right there. It's hard to see without bending down. See it? Okay, there we go. All right. I'm gonna place these screws inside. Line it up a little bit. Now, we can shut the door. You can open and shut the door. This goes over to
to protect that right there. It's tight. Look at that. It's tight. So if we were to open up the fridge,
I had to remember not to overextend my back while putting on the door, so I kept it as close to me as possible. This is a tip that I use to keep me from back pain. I also let the door rest on part of the refrigerator to keep the weight off of me.
Here we go. So we're gonna shut the door. Here. We shut the door, and we're gonna hold and screw this in. Now mind you, we're doing a lot of this stuff with one hand. So it's kind of interesting when you're trying to hold a camera and work at the same time. There we go. Oh. There you go. There you go. Let's go back up here. Now we're going to connect the water line. They had it around this, like, before I took it off, they had it wrapped around, they had these wires wrapped around the water line. This is the way it came. So what I'm gonna do is stick the water line back in, and then we close it, we lock it right there, and then we go over here and push this in. And then we lock it, so it's locked. The water line is locked, nuts are on. But now we're gonna take this part right here and place it back on over here. I'm gonna place it back over this part. I'm going to open the door right there. I got my Phillips screwdriver and I'm screwing it down. It's tight. So now the door is actually on.
So now all of the doors have been placed back on the refrigerator the way they're supposed to be. Sometimes, even though you measured your space, the refrigerator could still be higher than the cabinet. If this happens to you, you may have to move the cabinet, or you can do what I'm about to do right here. I grabbed my metal L-shaped ruler so that I could draw a straight line across the bottom part of the cabinet. To be honest with you, I really didn't want to move that cabinet, so I decided that I'm gonna just cut the bottom part off. For those of you who don't know what this tool is, it's called an oscillating tool. Most of the time, I use this tool for cutting under the door jambs when I'm doing flooring. When we found out about this tool, it made many of our projects much easier. The thing I like about cutting with the oscillating tool is that I have a nice straight piece when it's all said and done. I like to cut right in the center of the lower piece of wood. For me, when I'm doing this part, slow and steady is the name of the game. I also like to cut as wide as I can so that the refrigerator will have a nice fit. Once I cut all the way through, the piece practically falls off. Now it's time to plug up the refrigerator and turn on the water line from the house. With a little bit of DIY ingenuity, we made the refrigerator fit. So let's check out a couple of the features. To be honest with you, like most people, I just started pushing buttons. I kind of get a thrill from just pushing the button to see what happens. The one thing I like about this refrigerator is that when you put your cup in it, you can push one button and it fills the water to a certain level. Now that's a feature I really like. I hope this video helps, and if you got a good deal, would you buy an open box appliance? Let me know in the comments.
And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, share with your family and friends, and subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to turn on your notifications so that you can DIY too.